Hello everyone and welcome to, well, it's going to be a Vintage Masters draft. Boom, joining right away. This is actually my first ever Vintage Masters draft. So I hope you can give me a little bit of slack here as I figure out what all the cards are and the like. I've played Sealed Deck in Vintage Masters, and Sealed Deck is a bit different because there's a lot less focused synergies and such. And I'm not really sure exactly where I want to be going with any of these things, but here there's some interesting cards. Excuse me. Dark Hatchling was always sort of a dominant creature in its format. I'm told that Goblins is actually quite good here, and Click Slither seems like a pretty awesome Goblin enabling card. Ivory Tower is kind of sweet. Roar of the Worm is obviously pretty awesome in Madness decks. But I'm really not sure exactly what I want to take here. I think that the safe plan is Dark Hatchling because it's a powerful card that can go into a wide variety of decks. Though I imagine the format's probably fairly fast in terms of a card like this being as powerful as it used to be. Maybe you want something like Basking Root Walla for a Madness deck or the Roar. I'm gonna go ahead and take Roar. Here, a Battle Screech, a Kervik's Torch. Those are both pretty obviously powerful cards. I'm inclined to take Battle Screech. Battle Screech seems pretty unreasonable as a common to me. Kervik's Torch is also, just Fireball, but Fireballs have gotten a lot worse as limited formats have gotten better, basically. As more powerful creatures have existed, the power of just an X spell to the face has dropped dramatically. Though Roar of the Worm and Kervik's Torch both go very well in the same sort of deck. If you have some sort of green ramp style deck, there seems to be a reasonable number of those kind of cards here. But Battle Screech seems pretty insane. This is again just I have not really played with this format at all. I played one sealed deck in Vintage Masters, so it makes it kind of difficult to actually make this sort of determination. I'm inclined to think that Battle Screech is probably better than Kervik's Torch, so I'm going to go ahead and take Screech. Benalis Trapper seems pretty sweet. Elephant Guide seems pretty sweet. Smokestack seems okay. If I want to go in the Battle Screech direction, Trapper seems like the best option because, well, it's a white card, but there aren't that many actual white cards here. So it could be getting cut from white, and Battle Screech may not ultimately end up being a great option. That said, some sort of mid-range style deck can still use something like Trapper pretty well. Elephant Guide seems like there's a lot of bounce in this format, and that's actually now that I'm actually looking through more of the cards, it makes Roar of the Worm actually much less attractive than it otherwise might be. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Trapper and try and go that direction because I don't really know what else I want here. So it can be sort of overwhelming, this kind of format early on. Soltari Trooper, another Roar. Well, other people don't like Roar that much, it seems, so maybe Roar first pick was not a good choice. Soltari Trooper is pretty sweet. Shadow creatures can be kind of tough for Lord X to deal with. Counterspell is also quite exciting. There's a lot of tools to enable actual Madness stuff too. So maybe there's not really white things to enable Roar, unfortunately, but it seems like we're looking to go down this direction. Though we could move away from these, take say a second Roar, we can even take a Counterspell. Repel is a card that obviously makes Roar much less exciting too, and there's we've seen several of those. So we're not really seeing much in the way of green either. It seems like we're actually seeing pretty much blue is the color we've seen the most of. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this Trooper and try and go in the Battle Screech direction still. Ooh, these are some pretty exciting cards. Serendip Efreet is pretty good. More Counterspells. And Nomad Captain is actually pretty incredible with Battle Screech. It's also pretty incredible with any sort of Shadow Guys in a lot of cases. I could have 3 Counterspells, but I was actually trying to draft a control deck. But I'm trying to draft the Battle Screech deck, and I think the Captain is the best card for this direction right now. Oh God! I just accidentally misclicked the wrong card. Anyway, well, we did that. That happened. I thought I was right-clicking, and I left-clicked. My mouse is kind of messed up, so we should have a Nomad Captain, and instead we have an Elephant Guide. This is great. This is a great a great video and a great use of my tickets. Well, there's Source of Plowshares here, and Source of Plowshares is pretty incredible. So actually, I think this is a pretty easy pick. Obviously, it can be, the life gain from Source of Plowshares in an aggressive deck can be, something you don't really want to be happening, but it is still Source of Plowshares, so we're going to take Source of Plowshares. And here we have, well, Thoreau's Faithful, not really good in this sort of deck that I think that we want to be drafting. Shelter, however, is great. Shelter is, just a very powerful card to stop, bounce spells or removal spells. I'm going to go ahead and grab Shelter. And I don't know how good Phantom Nomad is. He's always been okay, but not amazing. It's interesting because a 2/2 creature, a Phantom 2/2, is generally such that it's generally going to die if it actually gets into combat anyway. So I think we're going to just take the Phantom Nomad and still go in this sort of aggressive white direction. Really wish we had that guide. Ooh, both Deathblood Elites came back. Deathblood Elite plus Elephant Guide is pretty sweet. So I'm going to take the foil Deathblood Elite because, well, I want the foil one. And now there's a Sudden Strength, so maybe we are just green-white. You can also look in the direction of being white-black. We have passed a lot of good black cards. And I think that we want to take the Sudden Strength. I think we want to try this. We do have a Source of Plowshares at this point, and we have a couple of pretty reasonable green cards. So I think I'd actually rather go green than black. And we've actually have seen some decently late green cards. Armor of Thorns. I actually played this in a constructed deck way back in the day in 5-color green, and it was actually pretty good because you can actually it's either Giant Growth or an enchantment. So that said, I don't know if we want that or Mantis. I'm kind of inclined to think that we want the Mantis, but again, I have no real idea. If we want to go with the Renewed Faith here, it's actually probably a pretty bad card in my deck, but Mountain Valley is not really going to do much of anything. Maybe we just take the Thalicos Drifters and potentially leave ourselves open to be blue. Let's try that. I really wish we hadn't misclicked on that card. That would have been much nicer. All right, well, Cause of Wirewood is kind of nice. We can potentially clear the air. Our deck, I think, is not very good right now, though, and a lot of that does come down to our our lack of knowledge. Well, my lack of knowledge. Ooh, a Douthie Mercenary. All right, well, let's take him too. There was a Sudden Strength there, but I don't think I think I have too many possible 4-drops anyway. Yeah, I probably should have taken that Fall in the Sky too. Just have the option of just being a black-white aggressive deck. And here, ooh, a Taiga. Well, I think I want to take the Taiga because it's a Taiga. Although I don't think those are actually worth very much right now. Maybe I actually just want to take like that Saltari Trooper and just be aggressive. A Chroma's Blessing. This seems like a pretty powerful card. Wild Mongrel is also pretty powerful. Maybe we actually just go green white with this Wild Mongrel. We end up with Wild Mongrel and Roar. Wild Mongrel Elephant Guide's pretty sweet. Saltari Trooper is pretty sweet too. I really, really wish we had clicked on the correct thing when I was trying to take that Nomad Captain. It would have made my life much nicer. I don't really know. I think Wild Mongrel seems like it's probably the best of these cards. Obviously if I'm playing green. So I think I'm gonna take Wild Mongrel. Wild Mongrel can be a different color card. Ooh, Benevolent Bodyguard. Benevolent Bodyguard seems pretty sweet. It's kind of like a Shelter, except you get to attack with it. And it turns on Battle Screech. Alright, we're going to take a Benevolent Bodyguard. Mystic Zealot. I didn't even know that was in here. Gerard's Battle Cry. That's kind of interesting. Penumbra Worm. Mystic Zealot seems pretty bad in my deck. I don't really have many good ways to actually get Threshold. By the way it looks here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm already lost enough playing a new format without having all these things going back and forth. I wonder if this card's any good. Card seems like it could be kind of sweet actually. Thoreau's Faithful's not good in my deck, I don't think. Penumbra Worm is not good in my deck. It's Mystic Zealot. I think actually I want Mystic Zealot. I mean, maybe, you know, we can actually turn this on. There's a good chance this comes back. It doesn't look good. I think it might be good. I really have no idea, but it certainly doesn't look good. So I think there's a better chance it comes back than Mystic Zealot. Well, there's another Shelter versus Benevolent Bodyguard. This is an interesting pick. Shelter is, you know, obviously a surprise, but I think Benevolent Bodyguard seems better to me because you can tap out with the Bodyguard in play and leave, you know, your protection available. So I'm gonna grab a Bodyguard. And Noble Templar, Brilliant Halo. Brilliant Halo seems pretty good. I don't really feel like we want Exile on this deck. We mostly want to be attacking, is my guess. I feel like I probably just want Brilliant Halo. So I'm going to grab that. Alright, another Benevolent Bodyguard. And a Mistmoon Griffin. I think I just want a third Bodyguard. I think a Bodyguard deck seems pretty great. With, you know, if we do it with the Elephant Guides and garbage like that. We do have a very low curve. Alright, many Bodyguards. Ooh, a Crozen Tusker. Soltari Emissary. Do you want a Benalis Trapper, Soltari Emissary? Crozen Tusker's awesome, but I don't think it's good in the deck that I'm trying to build. Soltari Emissary is interesting. It's a, you know, a cheap creature with a you know, the ability to shift back and forth between shadow. We already have 3 attacking 2-drops and a Trapper. I think I just want a second Trapper. Grasslands is interesting, but not really what I'm looking for. Radiant Archangel. Well, Radiant Archangel seems pretty good with a bunch of bodyguards, and I really would like more Battle Screeches. That's what I really want more than anything. I can also use some 3-drops, but I think I just want to take Radiant Archangel here. I don't really have that many other creatures with flying, though, but I think it's still going to be good. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So Akroma's Blessing or Soltari Trooper. I think I want Soltari Blessing here. I have more chances to get more Soltari Troopers. So and also Akroma's Blessing can, you know, potentially just break through any sort of stalemate situation late in the game. But this gives me more, you know, more sort of aggressive position. I have a bunch of bodyguards, so I think I actually want the trooper. And a shelter, sure. My creatures will never die. Not once, not never. I feel like I probably could be almost basically mono white. Which leads me to kind of want to take this Taurus Faithful in case I do end up really, really light and actually want to play mono white. I probably am not going to want to do that, but I think there is the possibility. I don't think I want a third shelter. Krosan Voreen. I don't really have... I have too many 4s right now. I really need stuff in here. You know, I really love to get more Elephant Guides now that I have 3 bodyguards and 2 shelters, which also makes Voreen more exciting. Okay, Tranquil Thing. We probably should have taken that shelter there, but ooh, Grasslands. All right, well this is something. I'd love to get more Battle Screeches. There's another Kerrik's Torch, a Deft Blade, Simian Grunt. We don't really have great things for Deft Blade. We don't really have, like, well, more Elephant Guides. Sudden Strength could be good in my deck, though. We have lots of cheap dudes. I really need more guys sort of in the middle here. Maybe I just want the Simian Grunt. Simian Grunt's pretty good. But the Echo is pretty rough if I'm actually trying to be aggressive. But it seems like it's actually the best card for me in this pack, unfortunately. I could just take Kerrik's Torch and just, you know, be like white splashing Kerrik's Torch. Then if I had 2 Kerrik's Torches. But I ended up, what did I take over the first one? I took Battle Screech, yeah. Alright, well, we're just going to take the Simian Grunt, I think. My green isn't even that good. Maybe it might... Colors... Hold on. Show all. My black's kind of better. There's part of me that kind of wants to take Dauphine Mercenary. I'm going to take Simian Grunt. Alright. Well, there's another Wild Mongrel, which is pretty great. Wild Mongrels are very good. Afterlife is pretty good, but I don't think that I really want it. I think I'd rather have a second Wild Mongrel here. You know, just have really aggressive opening. Still need stuff to do in the middle of my mana here. I think I probably made quite a few mistakes so far. Well, I've definitely made quite a few mistakes so far. But I think that you know, there's really not that much reason that I should be in green at this point. I remembered Roar being awesome in the block that it was in. It doesn't seem like it's actually that good here. So there's a pretty significant number of ways to actually deal with Roar efficiently. But what's good here? Is there anything good here? There's actually nothing good in this pack for me. I guess I can take Croson Tusker. It's really not what my deck wants. I certainly don't want Exile. Exile seems really bad for me. I could take a Cycle Land, but Cycle Lands also seem bad. I mean, I do have Roar Radiant in my deck. I could possibly actually use Croson Tusker, but I also think I'm probably going to want to discard land and stuff to Wild Mongrel. So Croson Tusker seems pretty unexciting for me. Oh, Shiro's barking. Shiro, stop barking. I guess I'll just take the Tusker. Ugh. Alright. This is not an exciting pack. I'd love to be able to take just Mana War out of this pack, but... Alright, well, here is... Wow, another counterspell. Here is a Mistmoon Griffin. Mistmoon Griffin's probably pretty good in my deck. I also love Serendib of Freeze. Jeez. This deck would be great with Serendib of Freeze, just like blue-white aggro. But I think I just want Mistmoon Griffin. What is this deck actually going to look like? Shiro, stop barking. Why is Shiro freaking out? Is this good in my deck? I don't think this is very good. It's good with Radiant Archangel, that's for sure. I thought this when someone played this against me in sealed deck in this format, I thought it could be used as an instant, but it cannot. So that's important to know. I think I just want Mistmoon Griffin though. Maybe that's not as good as just Thopter Squadron. Yeah, we'll take Thopter Squadron. Ooh, Gustcloak Harrier. Another creature. A 3-drop creature, yes. We have so many bodyguards and shelters. And bodyguard's actually an interesting way to enable Mystic Zealot. And it's actually also very good with Roar of the Worm. If you can actually just play Mongrel, you know, bodyguard, Mongrel, put out Roar. We'll take the Harrier. There's another Croson Tusker or another Mystic Zealot. I don't think Mystic Zealot's good in my deck, so the Seal of Cleansing. I don't really want a Seal of Cleansing. I don't particularly want Croson Tuskers, but does this deck actually want any of these cards? I guess I'll probably just take a Mystic Zealot. I mean, between like Bodyguard and Shelter and Mongrel, I can actually turn on Mystic Zealot reasonably well, but I don't know if it's actually nearly powerful. I guess I probably just want a Seal of Cleansing for my sideboard. Seems better actually. Another Simian Grunt. Alright, well, I'll take another Simian Grunt. Another Shelter, another Defilator, a Gaia's Embrace. I think I want a Gaia's Embrace. I don't really want to be playing a ton of Forest. I guess I'm going to be playing a reasonable number of Forest because I have a bunch of Simian Grunts. Or I could just take a third Shelter. What does that look like? 1, 2, 3, here. Let's assume we're not playing this. Assume we're not playing this. This guy's probably not even going to make it in my deck. Okay, well. Now, a Sudden Strength. Sure, we'll take a Sudden Strength. Provoke. Afterlife. This card seems good. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that card just isn't good, but it seems pretty good to me. I wonder if my deck is better as mono white. Probably not, but is Sudden Strength even good? Probably isn't good. Again, I don't really know what the format looks like. Take some time to get these things figured out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 20 white cards. Even like 21 if you count Seal of Cleansing. So obviously I can't play mono white. The Wild Mongrels, I don't know that I want to play any of my Forecasting Cuss things. I'm forecasting on green things, that is. Shiro, calm down. I do like the fact that I have a bunch of color protection effects, like Bodyguard and Shelter. I don't know that I want all 6 of them, but it does make stuff like Roar of the Worm and stuff like Gaia's Embrace and Elephant Guide much safer to try and rely on. All right, so let's put this together. I'm just gonna put everything in the deck. And let's cut things. Well, make up one more Shelter. I don't know how good Brilliant Halo is in my deck. We don't want 2 Bodyguards, 2 Shelters. Bodyguard seems better. Bodyguard seems better than Shelter to me here. For one, I can attack, which is sweet. Brilliant Halo seems good. And then I have the 3 creature enchantments. Radiant Archangel is not incredible in my deck. He's still good, but he's not incredible. I mean, I need the Battle Screech for him to be incredible because I only otherwise have a Gustclaw Carrier. And maybe Phantom Nomad's not that good in my deck. The Phantom Nomad with any enchantment is pretty great. Phantom Nomad with Elephant Guide, Brilliant Halo, or Gaia's Embrace can't actually die to damage. I don't know how much damage we're dealing with, but I do have 3 Bodyguards. Maybe Deathblade Elite stinks in my deck. Yeah, Deathblade Elite doesn't seem that good in my deck. Maybe he comes in against, other like small creature decks, but in here he doesn't seem great. And then is Mistmoon Griffin good in my deck? Probably is. Maybe Gaia's Embrace is just not that good. Maybe I just want to be able to play like 10-7, so I don't play Gaia's Embrace. I don't really have like huge guys to put it on. I mean, it is good on Roar. Maybe Mystic Zealot stinks in my deck. Mystic Zealot probably does stink in my deck. I don't really have that many good with Get Threshold. Yeah, alright. And I think we do want to play Grasslands. So this is 10-7. I think, can we be 9-8 for this? Yeah, I think we can. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're actually like 10 10, 8, if you're counting grasslands as both colored sources. We do have a bunch of cheap things which make grasslands somewhat tougher to justify. But I'm not really sure about how my deck is built either. I don't know how good a lot of these cards are. Like, I don't know how good, how good is Krosan Voreen? How good is, I have 3 benevolent bodyguards, which makes Voreen a lot more exciting. Maybe Mistborn Griffin's not good in my deck, because a lot of my creatures are not that impressive by themselves. Maybe Voreen is better. I think it's going to be very deck dependent, though. I'm going to, Voreen and Deathblade Elite, I think I might want to bring in against certain decks. Where I want to be, giving more of a beatdown, trading more with their creatures. I don't know if I want the shelters. I feel like Bodyguard seems better, given sort of the structure of my deck, but again, it's very hard to say. So I think I'm just gonna go with this. I'm gonna see how this plays, and we're gonna be learning. So that is what's happening here. Our learning experience with Vintage Masters, in which we did not get any sweet Power 9. But maybe next time. So now, let's go ahead and submit and head to battle.